4, start.
Good afternoon and hello everyone. I welcome everyone on another section with Nitesh Mehra Associates. Today we have with us Sir Nitesh Mehra himself present on the board. Sir Nitesh Mehra is practicing advocate at Delhi High Court for the last 11 years in this profession. Now he has his firm Nitesh Mehra and Associates Law Offices for the last 5 years. Sir is here with us to speak on the most controversial topic of WhatsApp new privacy policy. There has been a lot which has been said about the same. Let us understand from Sir what is the controversy and why there is a fight. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Preeti, for the lovely and wonderful introduction. Uh, it's very important to first understand that what is the topic today and why we are here and what is to be need to be understand. So what I need to tell you all is that the relevance and dependence on technology has been increased over the years, and the kind of impact that any misuse of technology may attract is manifold. It is therefore not only necessary to have it carefully drafted the legislation with regard to that, but such provisions also demand their review time and again before their enforcement in actual. So we have to consult the actual stakeholders and the public, and deliberations should be made before imposing such laws. So the Information Technology Act 2000 rules and the law made thereunder are amended and time to time governs by the rules and regulations of the government. Today, we are going to discuss this topic, which has a large public importance, not only India, but worldwide. It's been seen that WhatsApp privacy policy and the laws made in there are being into the news a lot. So let us understand it from the PPT. Can everyone see the screen? So once I start the PPT, just close the camera, Kriti, okay? So here it is. Let us understand what is the WhatsApp policy. So this WhatsApp policy has actually came into force in January 2021 when a WhatsApp launched a new privacy policy which tried to get people to sign up for. So many of the WhatsApp users tried to shift to other chat apps as they thought that Facebook is trying to breach their data privacy. Thus, WhatsApp had to slow down the rollout of the updated terms and said it would give more time to the users to understand the same. Now, WhatsApp has asked the users to agree to the terms and conditions in a more polite way by appearing regularly in the top of the chat list. So, if what would happen if somebody will not accept it? If one doesn't accept the reminder on continuous basis, the following will happen. The user won't be able to access their chat list, but can still answer incoming phone and video calls. If the user has notifications enabled, they can tap on them and to read or respond to a message or call back a missed phone or video call. After a few weeks of limited functionality, the user won't be able to receive incoming calls or notifications, and WhatsApp will stop sending messages and call to your phone. So this, in a way, a new regulation which has been brought out by the WhatsApp, which has to be accepted by its users. So there has been a report which said that it would include more information how user data is processed, and the new privacy policy updates will also include the information how WhatsApp business users can use the Facebook hosted services to store and manage the chats. Here we have to know the fact that the Facebook is also the company which governs this WhatsApp. So now we have to understand that where the controversy is lying now. So WhatsApp has announced its new privacy policy where the data of the user shall be shared with its parent company, that is Facebook. It has clarified that the sharing of data will be limited only to the data which is shared between the business accounts and the individuals. The private conversations of the users would not be shared. it will be done to provide better services to the user by Facebook. As per the company, the new policy also ensures more transparency and accountability in sharing the user's data. So Facebook or WhatsApp has said that our defense is very clear. We are not sharing any personal chats. So therefore, there is no harm in accepting this new privacy policy. An important point to note here is that the other data related to the business chats WhatsApp will also share the personal data with Facebook like profile photo and etc. So now the policy has been criticized by the public and the government for the following reasons. That there has been an interaction with the business accounts which was otherwise not permissible in the earlier policy, and lack of consent of users for sharing their personal data and sharing of metadata. So before the new policy, what was there, that WhatsApp used to share the users data with the Facebook, but at that time the users had an option of disagreeing or opting out of it. But now the issue is that users do not have a say in their information that is being shared. They have the option of either agreeing to the terms of the policy or deleting their WhatsApp account. This is all or nothing approach of the policy has led to a sense of distrust among the masses. So, with a new policy, Facebook has failed to follow its data protection commitment. Users feel that there is a forced consent being taken, and in order to disagree, they would have to delete their account, which they have been using for the years. With the fear of a policy, a large number of WhatsApp users have shifted to the other instant messaging platforms that assures the protection of their data. So WhatsApp new privacy policy 2021, what it shows from the picture that it makes users feel insecure. It's the metadata has made it controversial. The metadata has a potential to reveal sensitive information of data that's traveling throughout the communication channel. The metadata includes contact information, location of the user, financial details, etc. This metadata is used to make a complete profile of that individual. This can be used by the Facebook to target the users with business advertisements that will match their profile. In the new policy, the users have not been given the freedom to consent to such metadata sharing. So in a way, there has been a startup consent by the WhatsApp by themselves by not asking the users to use that metadata with the other business platforms. Indian government and WhatsApp. So now India is totally was opposing this thing. India strongly opposes the new privacy policy. The Indian government has asked the WhatsApp to not apply its policy in India. The government has asked WhatsApp to review its policy as it will affect the privacy of lot of India users. India opposes the differential and discriminatory treatment of WhatsApp since it doesn't apply to the European countries. The strict privacy rules of the Europe are called the General Data Protection Guidelines, that is called GDPR, that govern the data protection in European areas and European Union. The presence of GDPR has prevented WhatsApp to implement its new policy in the Europe region. India is against that differential treatment and has shown displeasure over that application of the policy on such a large basis of users. So now the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has warned the WhatsApp to take back its latest update in the privacy policy. And if the ministry fails to get a satisfactory reply by May 25, then it should take the legal actions. The ministry has also said that the alteration to WhatsApp's privacy policy and the manner of introducing has undermined the values of informational privacy, data security, and user choice of Indian users. The ministry has also sent a set of 14 questions to WhatsApp on data collection, the permissions and consents it obtained from users, question on profiling, and what was the nature of profiling was also raised. WhatsApp has maintained that the app is end-to-end encrypted and it does not share any private data with the Facebook, but now it will enable to use some of the business conversations posted with the Facebook for advertising. Thus, the policy is invasive nature. It has been constantly changing its policy and will be discriminatory towards its Indian users that it was mandatorily imposed on them, unlike the Europe. So WhatsApp parent company Facebook, which has owned the Instagram, also plans to make one giant pool of messaging platforms where users of WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook can chat without getting into the hassle of making individual connections on these platforms separately, leading to a possible data leaks. So that could be a possible good step, which will say in this policy for which the users supposedly be agree. WhatsApp has also been alleged to have an active involvement in the constantly tracking Indian journalists through a spyware software. WhatsApp shares information with third parties, but at the same time claims that WhatsApp is making sure that the third party is taking proper care and caution with the WhatsApp cannot force any third party to have an evil motives. So WhatsApp also share the data with companies located in different countries. So these are their certain points which they have included in their privacy policy. So now, what is the law of India with regard to WhatsApp privacy policy in Section 10 of Indian Contract? Section 10 of the Indian Contract Act states that what agreements are contracts? All agreements are in contracts. They are made by the free consent of parties competent to contract for a lawful consideration and a lawful object. So essentials of Section 10 are offer and acceptance, lawful consideration. Parties must be sufficient to contract. Capacity should be there. Free consent by the parties. Lawful object. The certainty of terms. The possibility of performance. So as mentioned in the previous slide, Section 10, there are essentials which are there. So free consent of parties, competence of parties, so lawful object, lawful consideration, all these are the essentials which has to be complied while having a contract. Online services mainly provide a click wrap contracts or adhesion contracts. In these services, providers offers the users to take it or leave it, providing no space for negotiations. If a customer does not agree to the terms and conditions provided, no matter how vague they are, the customers will not be allowed to use the services. So the main issue is not about letting the customer choose another service provider, but it is about the fair terms so that all providers which they are giving to the other customers, so that the customers can also decide on the same. So as per the Contract Act, there has been a certain things with regard to the e-commerce, that how it is a valid contract, how the issue of whether substandard form of online agreements are recognizable in courts or not. So all these are terms of the Contract Act which has to be considered, which the Indian government is saying that WhatsApp to review. So now what has happened? Now India has done a strategic move here. India, though, was on the back foot when the WhatsApp was saying that either they accept the privacy policy or will stop them to use the WhatsApp. So in that eventuality, Indian government has done a strategic war, we'll say, a strategic fight with a strategic weapon, wherein they have taken out a traceability clause. They said the traceability provisions, which requires platform to locate the first originator of information, whenever the authorities put in such a request, will also impact other end-to-end encrypted apps like Signal or Telegram, but the impact will be significant on WhatsApp, which has nearly 450 million users in the country. So now there has been some international case laws with regard to the data protection, and that is of Europe also. And those international cases say that the territorial scope of the right to be forgotten was a jurisdictionally limited and cannot be applied to worldwide domain names. In another case, it was concluded by the court that there was no blanket prohibition on the processing of sensitive personal data by search engines under the Data Protection Directive, thus refusing to compel the differencing of results. Now, Indian cases, what and how the Indian courts is dealing with this. Justice K. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, there was a judgment. It was held that right to privacy is protected as an instinctive part of the right to life and personal liberty under Article 21 of Constitution of India and part of the freedom guaranteed under Part 3 of the Constitution. Thus, the Honorable Supreme Court recognizes right to privacy as a fundamental right. So now the question is that whether the privacy policy of WhatsApp is infringing the fundamental right, that is Article 21 of the Constitution of India, or the traceability clause which the government of India has now imposed on the IT rules, that is going to violate the right to privacy. That's a battle which has been now started. So now what has been happening at the present status, we had made these three slides. So what the three slides goes to show. The first one, that the WhatsApp has now filed a petition in Delhi High Court challenging the traceability clause under the new IT rules, stating it to be the violation of right to policy. So now WhatsApp has gone one more extent, seeking the court's opinion on the interpretation of this Article 21 with regard to the traceability clause of India. So now the Ministry of Information, the Electronic Technologies, they have come up with the press release stating that the government of India very well recognizes the right to privacy as being a valuable fundamental right. The minister said that none of the measures proposed by India will in any way impact the normal functionings of WhatsApp in any manner whatsoever. For the common users, there will be no impact. Now, the date was like a day before, when the first Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp social media firms onwards, they have to lose their protection with regard to third-party content and would stand answerable to Indian civil and penal laws just like any other citizen. Now we have to understand that what has actually happened. So now by bringing of this traceability clause, the WhatsApp would be directly answerable if there is an offense committed with regard to a heinous nature. Then the government will be asking the WhatsApp to provide as the last person from whom that message started or flowed. If the WhatsApp will fail to provide that, then there would be having a liability and answerable that why they are not provided. So in a way, WhatsApp is saying that no, we can't do that. We can't go into the users' personal and private chats. If that would be done, it would be an infringement of right to privacy. So this matter has now been seized with the court. Now let us see that how the High Court of Delhi will come out and will interpret this Article 21 in the light of the traceability clause as well as of the right of privacy policy of the WhatsApp. So that was the whole with regard to this. Now, if there are any questions, Kriti, you can take them up with me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a fruitful session. And and there are few questions that are there. The first question that I would to pose to you is that as per the new privacy law, will the messages be end-to-end encrypted?
Yes, very well. So WhatsApp has made it very well clear that their WhatsApp new policy has nowhere said that the end-to-end encrypted messages will be leaked. So in a way, they have clearly stated that our agreeing to the new policy only means that there would be sharing of metadata, which we have already discussed in the present session. So the users should very well be in a comfort zone while using the WhatsApp that their messages end to end are encrypted and will not be shared with anyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this question. Thank you for this, sir. The another question that I would like to pose is why is WhatsApp so adamant on making people accept its policies?
See, everyone when come to India, such like social platforms or media, they come with a hope that they will grow up in a business. So while having a WhatsApp in the normal sense, it was like putting somebody into a habit of a drug. So when somebody has got addicted to a drug, then that person cannot easily let off from there. So now once the people are addicted to this chat, not the people, we are ourselves, you also, every one of us are addicted to this chat, and now it's very difficult for us to get back or take a step back. So now by using that strategy, WhatsApp has come on in a business mode to share the metadata, and by that purpose, the information with regard to the business or the business trade or what the products that users want or they are into use or habit of it, so they will indulge into the market strategy. So that is their step to earn more business through this step. So that's the only thing, that one want to increase their business, one wants to increase their scope. So that is the step which WhatsApp has taken, and now WhatsApp don't want to get back from there.
Thank you for this answer, sir. So the another question is that why is WhatsApp opposing the government's decision?
See, Kriti, it's a very good question which has been taken up by you. Since WhatsApp was adamant on imposing its terms with a view of this privacy, this their policy which they have come up, WhatsApp policy. Now, government of India has also come in a mood to challenge the wires of their policy by imposing their conditions. Now, what has come before the WhatsApp, either to accept the traceability clause or the government will then impose its restriction for using of the WhatsApp in India. So now there is a tussle between the Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever social media platforms are there with the information technology, because information technology has played a very safe stand. So by that safe stand, they also want that nobody, no person or no organization would like to lose such a big business place like India. So they would also be thinking twice before imposing such conditions. So therefore, India has also strategically has moved and has now want to see that what would come up. However, the matter is before the court. So let us see the court proceedings, how it will come up.
Thank you for this answer, sir. So now the question is that what problems will WhatsApp face with traceability?
See, if we talk about logically, illogically, though there is no problem with WhatsApp to accept the traceability clause. But logically, if we see from the stand of the WhatsApp, is that they say that they don't know that how much of data they need to store, how many years of data they need to store. If some offense has committed today and government of India wants that data after 5 years, then that is a difficulty for them. So everybody have their limited resources with regard to the preservance of the data. So here the WhatsApp stating it to be like the infringement of right to privacy is like their stand before the court. But the logic stand which they stated that the preservance of so much of data till what period is understandable. So therefore, WhatsApp has moved to the Honorable High Court of Delhi asking and stating that traceability clause to be declared as a right to be infringement of right to privacy. So this battle between the Indian government at one hand and WhatsApp, the social media, the Facebook on the other hand, is a very good battle if we see from the point of the people, because whatever would come out, ultimately the users will get benefit by it. So that's the purely the static answer which should have been given to the question raised by you. So if any other question, you can raise it.
Thank you for this answer, sir. Sir, there's another question that is the concept of traceability constitutional or unconstitutional? Like we spoke about the privacy,
See that
right to privacy.
see Kriti, that has to be answered by the court now, since the matter is sub judice before the court, and exactly the issue which you have raised here, whether the traceability clause is constitutional or unconstitutional, on that count only there would be arguments in the court from both the sides. And whatever the decision would come, that would throw more light on the question which you have just stated. But for the knowledge of information, we shall see that both seems at present to be right. Indian government sees from their part the importance is very much there with regard to traceability clause. Why these people should not be made answerable and responsible when it comes to some mob, coming for a war, or like people crowd collecting together and then done some riots, and where this some instances like toolkits we have seen in the recent past. So all these things, when it comes, when the government not able to secure the end person from where it has originated, and there is no responsibility of the social media companies, then there is a problem for the Indian government to enforce the penal laws on them. So therefore, in that part, it is very much constitutional if we speak in that sense. But yes, it is unconstitutional in that part, that to indulge into right to privacy, like how much of preservance of data is required, how much of private chats are required to be preserved. So in that way, it is unconstitutional. But let's see how the court take out a decision on the constitutionality of the traceability clause.
Thank you for this answer, sir. So one last question, that should the contract laws be amended with respect to the e-commerce contracts?
Yeah, sure. The contract laws need to be amended in pursuance of recent negotiations which have been taking place with regard to the social media platforms and the other usage of the information technology. What we have just said in the beginning of the session, that this is the development came because we the users have been using this information technology like anything. Now everywhere in every work in this pandemic also, we have seen that nothing had worked except whatever has worked, that has worked online. So the use of these IT laws with regard to the cyber laws of India Information Technology Act 2002 and the Indian Contract Act has to be restudied again and has to be molded according to the recent negotiations which are taking place for the betterment of the users and Indian citizens in India in the future.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for.
Thanks a lot, Kriti, for assisting me in the present session. Your efforts were very much helpful, and your help in preparing the PPT is very much appreciable. I'm glad, and we would love to have such more sessions with you. Thanks a lot.